Okay, so in this video, we're going to show you how to add the photos from like a point and shoot camera or your phone, where you're copying the photos over manually, right? So you would plug in your device, your phone, your SD card, your camera, and you copy the photos over manually, right? So we're going to do the same for photos that we did in the previous example, just so we can see the difference in the process, right? So copy your images, and we're going to go over to the picture section on your Windows Explorer and put them into this folder that we've defined as camera roll. Copy them into that location, and then you're going to bring up the deficiency form just as we did before, and at the bottom right there's a button called include camera roll. So we're going to click on that button. It's going to bring in the photos, and then we're just going to put a location of none again and hit save. And it brings them into this no deficiency link section, and we just process them as we did before, right? And so let's hit show all at the bottom left, and this was range, and we'll say 1. So 1 or more burners do not operate properly, and then we'll hit next, or you can click the image if you want to edit the photo, right? And then we're going to hit save next, and again click the image to edit and save that. And this was a range light. So sometimes if you put a longer word, it'll filter further. So the range. Microwave, we're going to say microwave and say none. So microwave had no problem. That's going to be a blue photo. And food waste disposal, vibration, and hit next. And that's the last one. And when I close, all those photos got moved to the respective sections with the assigned comments, right? Now this was just 4 photos I moved in for a demo. Of course, you would have, if you're doing it your entire inspection with a camera, you'd have many more photos that you're processing, right? So just to take a look at them, let's go to the food section, food waste disposal section, and you can see there's a photo with the comment. Here's my range hood with the comment. So everything gets moved from this no deficiency section much more efficiently, I guess you could say, right? If you use that form. Let's do another demo of, like, say if you're using a thermal camera, right? You would use the same process, right? So I have the photos on the same SD card, but I don't know if you noticed there was another button called thermal roll. So I've defined this folder, it's called thermal roll. So I'm going to go to my SD card, and I'm going to grab all of these photos that came off my thermal camera. And let's go back to the pictures and thermal roll. And we're going to copy them in here, right? Now, the reason for the 2 different folders, one's camera roll, one's thermal roll, is, at least for me, the thermal camera I have only does portrait mode, right? It's I want to say it's cheaper camera, but it is actually, the resolution is much better than my more expensive camera, but it has a fixed aspect ratio on the photos. So you would do the same thing, bring up the deficiency form, and at the bottom you have 2 buttons, right? The camera roll, which we used previously, and now we're going to use the thermal roll. The reason for the 2 buttons is I want to maintain that aspect ratio on the photos so they don't get distorted. So I would click there, click none, and then hit save. So I got an error. It's just saying it's being used by another program. So I'm going to say close. And so that's just letting you know they had a problem trying to copy the photo, but it was successful. If you go to the thermal folder, they've all been imported. So on occasion, when you copy full images over, you may see that message. Just check this folder, make sure they got processed. If they didn't, you can, the program will attempt to redo it, but if it's not successful, they'll end up in that location still, right? In this case, they're empty, so they all got imported in. So that was a good little demo that showed kind of an error, but then it resolved itself. So yeah, so now they're all in the no deficiency section, and you would start processing them just like you did previously, right? Let's do that real quick, just so I can show you a different way to do that. So one of the things about the program is it is very flexible. There's multiple ways to do the same thing, right? Just but depends on situation, depends on how you like to work. So I'll show you a couple things on this form, just as a kind of another little demo, right? The first thing you can do here is you can put them in the section that they belong to. So you can do this in a couple different ways. You see we have 14 photos. So you could go in here and you can say roof structure and attic, right? That's where they go, and hit next. And hit roof structure and attic and hit next. But if you don't want to do all that typing, you can click the button at the top that says Rapid Save. And if you can go to the first blade here under Structural Systems and find Attic and click on that. And what it does is it puts it into the attic section and moves on to the next photo quickly, right? Now you see there, those buttons are in bold, right? It means that those are been defined as your favorites. You can see as well, those buttons are over here. So typically I really only use the top right part of this form and my favorites button, you know. So again, these are all in the attic. Because I have clicked on the Rapid Save button, all I have to do is click attic and cycle through them to put them all in the attic section. So I can close out of here. They're all gone from the no deficiency link section. And if I go to my roof structure section, they're all there now. And I can just process them the way we've been doing all the other examples. Okay? Thanks.